Okay, so how we need to keep the projects is, so let's say you might be taking some, so there will be a payroll company and there will be a client company. So payroll company is the company which pays you the salary, which pays you salary. Okay, so this might be a service based company, and in-house projects also will be there. So when I say in-house projects, so the projects that are related to this company. And when I say service based company, projects, okay, so in-house projects that are related to the its own company, which is payroll company. Payroll meaning it will pay you salary. So when I mentioned this as a payroll company, that means, and you can say this as your permanent company. Okay, this is fine. Okay, so this in-house projects and projects that are related. So in-house project will have its own some company related stuff that we might prepare, and we can call this payroll company as our permanent company, and which will pay you the salary. And when I say service based company, you will work for client. You are going to work for a different company that can be called as client company. That means payroll company is going to provide service to the client company. So you are working for this payroll company, and as you are working for this payroll company will have multiple clients. So this payroll company will have multiple clients. Okay, let's say if this payroll company has 100 employees, 100 employees, and let's say it has some 10 clients, 10 different clients. Clients meaning different companies. So you can take an example of Philips. Philips is a client-based company, and Citibank. This is also a client-based company. Okay, so they do have, so they do manufacture products like lights, and what else? Healthcare related stuff. And Citibank is a bank, basically. So apart from what they actually do, so Philips manufacture lights and some healthcare stuff like trimmers and all they make. Okay, so they actually manufacture this stuff. And Citibank, it's a banking company. So so after doing their own stuff, they also maintain a software company based on their name. So they also maintain software company to know how their business is performing. Business is performing. Okay. So there will be some permanent employees for Citibank. So there will be some permanent employees for Citibank, and for few of them, they will hire. For few of them, they will hire for contract. So this contract people are coming from the small companies which has some 100 employees or 1,000 employees or like that. So the examples for payroll companies are like, you can take Birlasoft, Capgemini, and Accenture. Okay, so this will have employees like in thousands. So Birlasoft has some 10,000 employees, Capgemini has 40,000, 50,000, and Accenture has some lakhs of employees in there. Okay, so they basically, what they do is they provide service to the companies. So all these companies will provide service to the companies. So likewise, there will be some small companies also. Like I have shared to the few of the people. So like Aravina. Aravina is one of the small company. So this has only less number of people, 100 employees. Okay, so this will also provide service to the company. So you can mention these client names that you are working for Philips, you are working for Citibank, and you can mention that. And so when they ask specifically about your payroll company, then later you can mention that you are working for Aravina. So that is about how you can tell about payroll companies and client companies. So when they ask you about where you're working, you can say Philips, or you can say Citibank, or whichever project that you do. And when they specifically mention you about what is your payroll company or what is your permanent company, then you can mention your company's name. And this will be called as a client company. And these companies are also called as product-based companies. And why do we call these as product-based companies? So not only they do software related stuff, they will actually they are actually manufacturing some products. So if you see, Philips manufacture these items, and Citibank is a banking project. So basically they have a product. Okay, they also maintain software companies. So that is called as product-based companies. And these are called as service-based companies. So they don't actually have any product. Okay, so they don't, if you see, Birlasoft won't manufacture anything, or Capgemini or Accenture, if you see, they don't manufacture anything. So they just have the software companies. They just use software tools to provide the solution. Okay, so these are basically the service providers. So these will provide employees to the client companies. So in that also there will be two ways. One is you have to go to the client place, meaning you have to go to, let's say if you are working in Birlasoft and you got a project for Citibank. So you have to go to the Citibank location, Citibank software company location you have to go. So that will be your office. So that is one option. And the other option, you can work from Birlasoft office, or you can work from payroll company. you can work remotely. Okay, so your office will be your payroll company only. Okay, so when you work for client companies, either you have to go to the client place, or you can work from your payroll company by connecting remotely. So these will be the two options. Okay, so whenever you are get to ask about your projects. Yeah, okay. Yes, correct. Let's say if you are directly hired for Citibank, let's say Citibank has a software company, but you mostly you so they will have lots of interviews, panels will be there. So it will be very tough to get into this product based companies, and they will have a lot of offers and all. Okay, so if you are directly joining for Citibank software company, okay, then your payroll company and client company both will be same. Company and client company both will be same. But most of the employees will have this pattern. So they will be having one payroll company. So so if you see Birlasoft, Capgemini, Accenture has lakhs of employees. But if you go to the specific service-based companies, you will see only hundreds and thousands of people. Why? Because they do not maintain lakhs and lakhs of people. Why? So they just want to know about their own products. They don't care about other products and all. So they just want to prepare something related to their own product. So they just need some thousand employees that would solve their problems. So that is why they don't hire people. So they don't hire bulk people. They just take for the contract. So contract employees will be provided by this payroll companies, the service based companies. Only when you directly join to the Citibank or to Philips, then you can say payroll company and client company both are same for me. But that will be not the case in most of the cases. It is not mandatory. You can mention these names, Citibank or Philips or whatever big company that you are working for. You can mention those names in the profile. And in the call, when they ask specifically, so what are the documents that you are going to submit? You can't provide documents from Citibank or Philips. They don't give you anything. So as you are working for contract, you won't get anything. So in the whenever the recruiter calls you and then they ask you for what is your company name, so you can't say Citibank. You should say payroll company name only. Why? Because you are getting salary from that payroll company. So you can mention in the resume like you are working for Citibank, and when they call, you can specifically mention that this is my client company and this is my payroll company. Does that answer your question? Can you repeat? Correct. Yes. Yeah, it is actually. So product-based companies, when you compare with client-based, I mean service-based, it's much more uh, like getting job in product-based companies is very tough. So product-based companies are much better. Like yes, they do pay higher amount of salaries, and they will have a lot of offers, and every year they will give good hikes. And a lot of other benefits will be there, like employee benefits will be there, like giving insurance and providing some of the bonuses and all. You will have a lot of options. Why? Because the size of the organization is very less. Let's say it will be in thousands. Okay, in service based, you will have employees like lakhs. Okay, so providing benefits to lakhs of employees, it's very difficult. In product based companies, as the employees are very less, they will have a lot of options. But getting the job in product based companies is very tough, and they will not hire actually. So most of the times they will take employees as contract and contractual employees. And if you perform better in contract only, if you are working for one other payroll company and your performance is better, then they will take you as permanent employee. So as for mine, product based companies are much better. Mm, you can target all the product based companies. You can target Citibank, Philips, what all we have. uh, yeah, you can even Benj has this software company. Mercedes Benz has software company. There are some, um, most of the products have this product based companies that they maintain. Yeah, yeah, but they don't use this Naukri strategy. So from Naukri profile, they don't hire, I guess. So they're very less. So you don't get calls from those companies. So you will mostly get in this type of companies. You will get from the service based companies only, which will hire for those service based, sorry, product based. It is good to try for this product based companies, but you won't get it. It's very less opportunities for product based companies. Yeah, Prashant, you have any question? Yeah, please. This the people who have joined, they have completed the all the 30 sessions. So this is just related to the project related, and if they have any questions, they can ask from the previous sessions. Yeah, EY, is it a service based? I think it's, oh no, it's tax and assurance. So they do have, it's also a product based company. I don't think so. They do have a product, but they won't hire for other products. They don't. It's not a service based company. It's a product based company. So they don't hire for other clients. So when do they have their own product? Why will they do work for others? Okay, maybe, yeah. Mm, now it's like streamlined for every organization, not only for E and Y. So there is a separate team for which works for background verification. So they do go to your home and check whether this person existed in that particular place. They do check your experiences. So whatever the companies that you put in, so they will go to that physical location and check, and they do call to the numbers that you have provided, and whether that person is worked in that particular company or not. So they do those verifications. That's a separate organization which will do this background verification. So that's a third party basically. Most of the companies are taking the help of those third party and doing the verification. So if you take the bigger companies, based on that bigger company size, they do the verification. If you take this banking, Citibank domain, right? So banking is a very, I mean, they do check background verification very specifically. So each and everything will be noted. Okay, even from the schooling level, they'll check everything. So if you are going to some I mean banking projects, then background verification will be very tough. Okay, so do you need certificates? Yeah, I'll provide you one consultancy number. So they will help you with that. Okay, they will provide you all the certificates and you will clear the background verification also. Okay, so yeah, so Prashant, you were asking something? Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm just opening that here. Okay, so whenever you are entering anything in your resume, let's say you have entered about KPMG as your project. So KPMG is also a service based company. So it's a multinational professional services network and it has clients, one of the big four accounting organizations, Deloitte and PricewaterhouseCoopers. So these are the things, and so these are the three service lines which KPMG will support. So you have to know the background of the company that you have to put in. So you can do some research on that. You can search for the KPMG, and you should know the background what KPMG does. So they might ask you questions like where this KPMG is located and why, what are the products it does. And you can go to this about us and see the background of this. So what it does is it helps the other organizations to mitigate risk and grasp opportunities. It's basically providing the service to the other companies. So you can mention it is a service-based company and it operates in 143 countries. So you can give some basic information. So not only whatever I have provided, so I have provided these resumes to you. So not only this description, if you want, you can edit from this particular KPMG and you can copy this. So this is a lot of information which have. Okay, so you can give background of the company that you are working for. So let's say now you are working for KPMG and you can specify that you're providing service to these companies. And so roles, so basically, so according to this resume, so he has put in Wipro as his company, but he's actually working for his payroll company is Aravena company. So Aravena company is the payroll for him, payroll, or you can say permanent company. Okay, through Aravena, so you will get multiple projects. So he has worked for KPMG. One of his project is KPMG, and the other project is Sanofi Healthcare. Okay, so through Aravena, you can mention KPMG, Sanofi Healthcare. So these are the projects that he have worked for. Healthcare, and the third company, Dutch Bank. So he also worked for Dutch Bank. And fourth one, yeah. So these are the three projects he has worked for. And if you see the KPMG, yeah, KPMG, if you see, so Aravena itself is service-based company. Aravena itself is a service-based company. And so Aravena is providing employees to KPMG. So KPMG has taken you as a contract employee. And KPMG is also a service-based company. Service-based company. Okay, so it will provide service to PricewaterhouseCoopers, EY, and Deloitte. Okay, so this is also this is like a cyclic process, you can see. So you are actually an employee of Aravena. Through Aravena, you went to KPMG, and through KPMG, you might be working for PwC or Deloitte. Okay, so KPMG itself doesn't have any product. So this is not a product-based company. So this is also a service-based company. And so it is providing service to PwC, EY, and Deloitte. So in one of these projects, you might be working. Let's say you are working for Deloitte. So all this you can say these two as your client companies. This can also be called as a client company for you, and this can also be called as a client company for you. Why? Because these two companies are not paying you the salary. So these are your client companies, and you are a contract employee for this. Contract employee. Here also you are a contract employee. So Aravena is your payroll company. So that will be service based, and this is your permanent company. And after this project, after working for some years in this project, so that particular Rakesh has moved on from this project and he is working for Sanofi Healthcare. So this is a product based company. Product based company, and this is client company, as you can call client company. Okay, after working for some years, he moved to other project, so that is Dutch Bank. So this is also a product based company. So they have a product banking product based company. So this will be client company. So if you are working in service based, so for some years you will work for some product related information, and after that you will be moved to other project where you will completely do a different work altogether. And let's say if you are hired by Citibank, if you are a permanent employee for Citibank, and you will get only the banking projects. They will not allow you. So I mean, you will not be able to work on any other projects. So it's only banking projects. If you are permanent to Citibank, so you will get only banking related projects. Okay, so let's go back to the resume. So you have to give all the information about this KPMG, and so whenever recruiter asks you for what are the projects that you have worked for, so you can mention my payroll company is Aravena, and I have worked for different projects. So KPMG, you can mention Dutch Bank, you can also mention Sanofi Healthcare. So these are the work profiles I have worked on. And so when they specifically ask you about domain, so in domain, there will be healthcare, banking, finance. Okay, when specific, and manufacturing. Yeah, retail. Okay, so healthcare is basically, if you can take examples of Philips. So if you might not know, but Philips manufactures this MRI machines. And the equipment that you see in hospitals, the monitors. So in hospital, if you see the monitors, all those monitors are manufactured by Philips. And MRI machines, MR equipments, all these equipments are manufactured by Philips. So this will come under healthcare domain. And you can say some pharmaceutical products. You can so Reddy's Lab. You can say Reddy's Lab. So they manufacture medicines, tablets, and all. Okay, so this type of things will come under healthcare related. For banking, if you see, there will be products like Citibank, HDFC, ICICI. So this will have different. So these are actually banks, and they do also maintain software companies. So why do they maintain software companies? To know how the business is performing. So whether it is improving or whether it is decreasing. So they have to monitor each and every branch, each and every site. So to monitor that, they maintain software companies. Few of the, let's say, if it is very small company or very small organization, they don't maintain software companies like this. They just give a project to the service-based companies. Okay, so they will ask them to work. So they do not exist. I mean, they do not exist as a software companies. So if there are any small companies, so they do not exist as a software company. They just tell to the software companies like Aravina, like Deloitte, like Birlasoft. So they just assign the work to them, and that they'll get the work done. Okay, so like this, we will have banking projects and healthcare stuff. Yes, Citibank and all will have IT departments. Yes. 4 projects. It depends. You can sometimes you might work for 2 3 years. So it depends on how you want to keep it. Let's say if you are well and good in healthcare domain, you can keep healthcare domain related companies for 2 3 years, and other 2 years you can keep banking and other stuff. Let's say when I say domain, let's say if you are working for Dutch bank, your domain will be banking, right? So it is interrelated. Yeah, correct. Timeline doesn't matter, huh? Okay, so that is about how to tell about projects. So basically, so when they ask you about projects, you can directly mention that you have worked for multiple projects, KPMG, Dutch Bank, and Sanofi Healthcare. So specifically, you can mention the current projects. Let's say the current project that I'm working on, KPMG. So mostly, what recruiters ask for is the latest project, or you need to prepare for all the projects. Prepare for all the projects and prepare for the latest project as a priority. So so you can mention, so the first project that I mentioned is about KPMG. So when they ask you about KPMG, you can say this the description that you have written in the resume. The KPMG is a multinational company and it will provide the service to the big four companies. So these are the big four companies: Deloitte, EY, and PricewaterhouseCoopers is a big four companies. And this mainly provide the service for audit, advisory, and tax related stuff. And coming to my roles and responsibilities, so it's basically understanding the business. So these are all related to our Tableau stuff. So you can mention that. And later you can mention about Tesco Bank. So it is okay, you can mention that. So it's a complete cycle, right? You have to complete the cycle. So we don't stop at Tableau desktop. Whatever we prepare, we publish it to the Tableau server. So without publishing to the Tableau server, it will not complete. It is not a complete project. Admin. Yeah, Tableau admin will take care of the projects that are in the dashboard, but it is our responsibility to who has to have the access and all. Let's say I have prepared one dashboard. So that has some 3 worksheets or 4 worksheets, or let's say 4 dashboards. So I can only tell who are the audience for that particular dashboard. So I need to be, so admin will be handling all the dashboards in the server. You might be handling only one of the dashboard, or let's say few of the dashboards in the server. But admin's responsibility is to, you need to tell the admin that you have to provide access to that 100 people. So you have to give give that information to the admin. The admin will not know to whom he should give the access. Okay, admin is the person who will handle all the dashboards in the entire organization. But it's our responsibility to maintain the dashboard which we prepare. Mhm. Yeah. Okay, so that is about the projects. So regarding projects, you can add on, like you can get the information of the tax related stuff and all. So you can mention, let's say, I will tell you about Tableau Superstore. So you can replicate for your project. So in your resume, you might be having some other description, and you have to have some kind of data. So they might specifically ask you what are the columns that you have and what kind of KPIs that you have prepared. So anyone remember what is KPI? Yeah, key performance indicator. So it's basically indicates how our business is performing. So based on a measure, we will identify and we'll get to know how our business is performing. So I will tell you about this sample superstore data. So it's basically, it is a customer information who is purchasing the product from a sample superstore. So uh, these are the product names, and this is the customer name. And what is the sales amount? So this is the main information that we are showing. So who are the customers who are purchasing? And so basically this is, so you, whenever you see any particular data, you should identify what is the actual information that we are showing. So it's basically customer purchasing the products and what is the sale amount of that particular product. So Aaron Bergman has purchased these products, and this is the sales amount of that one. And other columns are also very important. I'm not saying the other columns are not important, but basic information what we actually need is customer name and product name and sales from the superstore. We actually, when we go to superstore, we as a customers, we buy some products and we want to know what is the product value and all. So that is what actually when you go to sample superstore, you want to know. And when you go to some banking domain, so you want to know banking domain, you want to know who are the customers you have. Customers related to savings account, customer related to current, there is a current account also, if you remember, there is a current account also. And who maintains credit cards, who maintains debit cards. So this type of columns they can maintain. And so you can have account number details, and what are the transactions that they have made. All these details will be available in the banking domain. So whenever you put in some projects in the resume, you have to tell about those information. So you have to prepare the data similar to the projects that you have put in. So here's sample superstore. You can specifically mention these are the top 3 columns that we use for this creating the customer related information. And by using category, I will know which category does this product belongs to. So global push button is a chair. Chair is a furniture. So that will go into the furniture category. And where is this purchase happening? So superstore is in different location. So Seattle. So it is in Seattle location. So he purchased in Seattle. And which country it belongs to? And who is the manufacturer of this product? So who prepared this chair? Global is a manufacturer who prepared that particular chair. And when was the order made? It is made on 7th March 2020. And the order ID of that particular order and postal code of that particular location, which region it belongs to, and segment. So categorizing that particular item. So order is made on that particular date and shipping started on other date. So how did they ship? They shifted it in standard class or first class or second class. That information you can see here. And subcategory information, state related information, and what is the discount provided for that particular product, and how much is the profit that we got, and how many quantities that particular customer has purchased, 1 quantity or 2 quantities, like that. Okay, so this is how you need to make some data for each and every project. So I'll give you one website. So there is one website called Kaggle. So Kaggle is a website where you can download the data sets. So whatever, let's say if you mention healthcare related stuff you want to know, or you want to get, so just enter healthcare and you will be able to see the healthcare related information. Or if you want to see some cricket related data, enter cricket. Click on this. So these are some basic standard charts that it will provide. Not only that, you can download the data as well. You can click on input. Yeah, so when you click on download, you can see the data. Okay, so this is the information that you can get it. So likewise, you can enter for healthcare and stuff. So batting team is Sunrisers Hyderabad. Bowling team is this one. How many overs, balls, everything will be there here. So you can get the data. So whatever the simple data that you think, you can download it here. So for IPL, if you want to get some data, so some sample data it will provide. Let's take IPL. I think it's the same file. Okay, so try like this. So try downloading the data. So whatever field that you are good at, so try downloading that. Let's say if you are interested about to know about cricket and all, so download this data. Yeah, so in tomorrow's session, I will show you some banking transactions related dashboard. So let's say you in your daily life you will make some transactions. So if you are getting some salary, how that salary is getting like in a month, how you are doing the transactions. And I have prepared one dashboard for that. So in a month, let's say if you are starting with a salary amount, let's say some 10K or 20K, and how you are spending that amount in that particular month. So I have prepared a dashboard for that. So tomorrow I'm going to show you that particular thing so that you will understand how actually we work in the Tableau. So it is similar way. So even the companies want to know how the business is performing. So like it is, I mean, for an individual to know how we are spending, it is very simple to know. But for an entire organization, they want to know in multiple branches how that particular product is performing. So to know that, so we'll have millions of records to understand how my business is performing. So we have to handle the data, the millions of records. We have to create some visualizations to understand how it is performing. Okay, so any other questions specific related to projects and all? What is an offset? Where did you see? Hmm. No, there is no function called offset. Hmm. Uh-huh. So lookup is a function in that particular. No, okay, so offset is a number that you have to enter, which is a location. So let me just enter. So let me take region, or let's say subcategory. And sales. And I'll create a calculation plus sum of sales. The offset is a value that you need to give. So now let's see calculation 1. Okay, so when I mention offset as 2, so it will take the second position. So it will leave the 1 and 2, and from third position it is giving you. If you observe here, so these numbers are getting copied here. Can you see that? 27659 is coming here. Let me take a snapshot. Okay, so the it will leave the first two positions, and that will be copied here, and 27355 it will be copied here. So likewise this entire thing will be copied here. And if you see, there are no next values, so that's why these are blank. So offset is the position that you have to mention. Let's say if you mention 1, so it will create an offset. Basically it will remove that one. So 167,380 will be removed, and it will start from this 108213. It's not an actual number. So when you want to specifically compare with the next one, so if you see, now you can compare sum of sales of accessories with the appliances. Okay, sum of sales of appliances you can compare with art. Got it? Does that answer your question? Yeah, it is a position. Yeah. If you mention it as offset, basically it is removing that. Offset meaning it will not keep in that particular set. So that one will be removed. So if we mention 3 lines will be removed. So these 3 will be removed. It will start from here. 207,355, 115,361. Yes, correct. Yeah, so every time you can mention this one first. So first meaning the first will be written, so that you can compare every time with the first value. You can enter specific position, or you can mention first and last also. So when you mention first one, so this is your first position. So first position will be shown. First position value will be shown. 167,380 is the first position value. And when you mention last value will be shown. And next, yeah, yes. Sorry, can you repeat? Yes. Whatever number that you are mentioning, that positions are getting excluded. So if I mention 2 positions, these 2 positions will be excluded, and it will start from here, and that will be entered across. You can also use first and last. Yeah, Divya. Yeah. So it's basically, so let's say if I have connected to Oracle connection, let's say. So in Oracle, you will have dev details. So for dev, you will have one server name, dev server. So it will be okay, dev server. And what are other informations you have? Username and password. So you'll also have service name, dev service name, and username and password of that particular connection. Let's say user one, password is 1234. Okay, so this will be your dev details. And for UAT also, you will have something similar to this. When you are doing UAT, you have to change the connection details to UAT. So this might be different. User UAT user something like this one. And likewise, you will have for production. So for every environment, you will have different credential, different users. When you are migrating to different servers, you need to have all these details. So this will be different. And this password will also be different. Okay, so you need to have all this. So let's say I have prepared one dashboard here. Let's say I have prepared this worksheet and I have connected to some dev server, some Oracle dev server. So I should be having these details in my dev server. So if I want to move to UAT, what I will do, I will change the connection details to UAT. First of all, database I have to change. Database connection I have to change. After that, here also, so let's say Tableau sign in. So here I'm connecting to public, right? So in Tableau server also, you will have a separate link for Tableau URL for dev. Okay, you will have separate URL for dev Tableau. Okay, so usually you'll if you connect to dev server, you will enter these connection details. You will have tables in this particular dev server, and you will connect to this, and you will publish to devtableau.com. Okay, now as we are publishing to public tableau.com in the organization, we will publish to dev dot your organization. Something will be there. You will have some org.tableau.com. Something will be there. Your organization related URL will be provided to you, and you have to enter username and password of Tableau. So that will also ask for username and password. So you will have dev user and password. And as a developers, we will only able to publish in the development server. Okay. And if you want to move to UAT and all, you have to raise request to the migration team. Okay, migration team, what they will do is they will change the connection. Okay, in UAT also you will have same tables, the same tables that you are connecting in dev. In UAT also they will have the same tables. What they will do is they will click on this, they will click on edit data source, they will click on edit connection. So it is opening this thing, right? As it is an Excel file, it is showing the Excel file location. So for Oracle, when you do this, when you do it for Oracle, it will open a window like this for Oracle. Okay, where it will show the dev details, dev server. Okay, what migration team will do is they will change the dev details to UAT details. They will change the UAT, change it to UAT details, and they'll change the username and password, service, and everything. They will change it, and they will connect to UAT data. So database will be connected to UAT. Connected to UAT. Okay, once this is done, so there will also be a link for UAT. So what migration team will do is they will connect to this while publishing. What they will do, they will use this URL. So in here, so while publishing, currently we are using, yes, environments completely different ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి you have to publish in every environment. No, why you can download stuff anytime and whenever you want. Okay, so what the actually procedure is, you should not download. So if you want, you can download, but so development only, you should do multiple iterations. So whatever test that you want to do, you can do only in development. So this is the testing phase. So if you want to edit anything or if you want to make changes, you should do only in development level only. Okay. And dev server, yes, dev server you can use. Yes, yes, correct. Okay, so you will have separate links for dev, UAT, prod. So link might be like this. For dev, it will be mentioned as dev. For UAT, it will be mentioned as like this. For prod, it will be mentioned like prod. Okay, for each. So development, you can test it anytime, whenever you want. But UAT and prod, you cannot touch. You can't. It will be only maintained by the migration team. Okay, so in organization, how they maintain is, you need to be having like this. This will be monitor. If you want to touch anything in UAT and prod, that will be monitor. If you want some dashboard from this, so let's say if you want some dashboard to be downloaded from this environments, you have to raise requests. Okay, that you want this particular dashboard from this location, you have to raise request. Why? Because this will be monitored. And so if something happens, let's say if the user is watching, let's say some 100 users or 1,000 users might be using that particular production dashboard. If you are downloading or if you are doing some activity, okay, if something crashes in between, so they don't want to have that kind of issues. So that's why every activity that we do, that will be monitored, and every it has to have some request for to do such kind of activities in UAT and prod. Only for development, whenever you want to do some edits or downloads, you can do n number of times. Okay, for developers, only development is the place where you can do any type of activity. For UAT and prod, you need to raise request. Why? Because that will be monitored. And you have to raise request to the migration team. They will only have the access to download or edit anything in the production. So it's like this. Let's say you are using some Instagram or Facebook. So what you are seeing is a production version. Okay, what you are seeing is a production version, and even in the WhatsApp, if you see in WhatsApp also there is a new feature that got added. Let's say you can edit the message that you have sent. Okay, after sending a message, let's say I'll send a message. So I can edit the message that I get. So I want to enter Tableau. Instead of essay, I want to enter Tableau. So what they do is, instead of uh, entering that in the production, so this is the production version. So now we are able to see this thing. So this is actually the production version. So they might have tested it in dev, and they might also have tested it in UAT. So okay. So once they have tested it in dev and UAT, then only they have released it. So now we are using it because this is a production version basically. So now we are able to see that particular change. That's actually is a production version. So it is the same case for everything, like not only for Facebook and other organizations. It is same for this software related stuff also. So development, you can do n number of activities. You can do whatever uh, edit that you want to do, you can do. But in UAT and prod, you have to have permissions to touch the UAT and prod. So that is okay. So for UAT and prod, you will have different environments. And let's say once you have published in UAT, so development, only developers will test it. And UAT, there are some specific users, some 10 users, specific users. Let's say some 10 users will, 10 or 20 users will test it. So likewise, if you see the feature that they have added, let's say I want to edit. So like this, they will test it in UAT phase. They will test it whether it is working fine or not. So earlier I have written it as Tableau. Now I have changed it to Tableau software. Okay. So this type of test will be happening in user acceptance testing. So whether it is working as expected or not. User acceptance testing. So they will do some kind of iterations, that the dashboard that we have provided, whether the filters are working fine or the dashboard is working fine. Let's say we have made that expandable do not chat. So if you remember our expandable, where is that? Yeah. So expandable do not chat should work when we hover on a pie chart. So we should check whether it is working as expected or not. So that is the kind of activities that we check. So in user acceptance testing, they will hover on it and they will see whether it is working as expected or not. So if it is working fine, what they will do is they will provide sign off. Sign off meaning they will provide approval, basically. Approval to move it to production. Okay, so once we got the approval, we move it to the production. Okay, once it is moved to production, we will not touch it. By using this prod.org.tableau.com, we will publish it to the production, and it will be used by all the users, some 1,000 users, or whatever the number of users that are there in your organization. Okay, if you take an example for our WhatsApp only, so they might have tested this feature internally in their some of so they might have given this access to some of the users, some 100 users. Okay, after they know that this is working, then they have released it to the entire world. So now we are able to use that particular option. So that's about migration work. So any other questions on today's session? Mhm. Yeah, so there are different ways. So what you can do is you can click on automatic. Okay, if you use automatic, so this will be adjusted according to your screen size. So you might have observed this. Let's say try this in your desktop also. So try creating some worksheets. Okay, try putting some 4 worksheets in the dashboard and prepare this and publish to the Tableau public. So if you are opening that same link in mobile, you will see it in a vertical way. Okay, the sheets will be shown in vertical way. Even if you have kept one sheet here, 2 3 like this horizontally, if you keep also in your mobile, how it will show is it will show vertically, 1 2 3 4, it will show like this. So it will adjust according to your screen if you keep it in automatic. Otherwise you can design for particular, let's say if you know that your users are every time your users are watching in phone, and you know that users have iPhone, and you can specifically design for that particular iPhone itself. If you know every time the user is particularly opening the reports in mobile, like then you can specifically design for mobile itself. And you can also select the version also, what is the model also you can select, you can design for that particular model as well. Or otherwise you can use that automatic mode. If you use automatic, so it will automatically adjust to your screen. Does that answer your question? Yeah, I will share in the group itself. It doesn't depend on experience. So without the form 16 they'll charge you 20K. For form 16 they might charge you 5K or something. Okay. How much experience that you are keeping? Okay, so for 8 years, it will be like you can say your current salary is 15 lakhs and you can expect 20 lakhs. No, no, no. It will be based on your overall experience. Salary will be based on your overall experience. It's not on related to Tableau or anything. So if you go to Accenture or any big companies, they have a strategic formula. So if you have this much of experience, they will give you this much of salary. Relevant experience. Yeah. It doesn't depend on that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yes. 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 Okay, then. Thank you all for joining. So, okay. So actually, I don't have access to show you Tableau related stuff. So I'll just show you the images. So this is how it looks. This Tableau server. I'll just show you 1 second. Okay, so these will be your folders. So inside these folders, you can maintain subfolders. So let's say campaigns and retention is a folder. Inside this folder, you have content performance, email performance. These are your dashboards basically. So inside this folder you have. So inside this also, let's say if you click on create, so it will show you to create new folder or you want to create a new dashboard. So those things you can see it here, and you can create subfolders and permissions. You have asked for permissions, right? I will show you permissions. Yeah, so this is how. Okay, once it is published, so we can add groups also. So let's say you have some 10 employees. Let's say Ajay, Vijay, Raju, Ahmad. Okay, so these are my employees. Okay, I can create a group. So let's say I have created a G1 group, G1 employee group. Okay, so if I want to give access to these people, so I will give access to this group. Okay, I can mention group here, and this group can access to workbook. In workbook also, what are the access that I want to give? So view is the one option. So if you check this one, so if you go to the other image, okay, so there is some 3 dots that you can see here. So if you click on these 3 dots, okay, then it will show you the permissions. So when you click on that, so this page will be open. So here you can select, so the options that you see. So when you click on this drop down, these are the options that you can see. You can see view, explore. So when you click on view, he should be able to view the dashboard, and he should be able to, this is called the filters. I mean, this image denotes filters, and he can read the comments, whatever the images that are there in the dashboard, he can see. So this complete, if you are giving viewer access to the user, then they can see the dashboard. And data roles, so they can see the data as well. So if they want to download any data, so they can also download. And